Welcome to the speaking section of IELTS examination. My name is Sapna Dhameja and I would be your examiner for this part of the test. This test would be recorded. May I know your full name, please?
My full name is Namnoor Kaur.
How may I address you?
Please call me Namnoor.
Okay. Where do you come from, Navnoor?
I am from a small village named Jamalpur Shekha. This is situated in district Fatehabad, state Haryana. This state lies in the northern hemisphere of my country, India.
Okay. Do you like this place?
Yes, absolutely. I like this place because it is the place where I had born and brought up. So obviously it holds a lot of sentiments of mine. That's why I like this place.
Okay. Few questions will be based on water. Do you think we should drink a lot of water?
Certainly, yes. Every individual should take an adequate amount of water diurnally. You are supposed to take 6 liters a day to stay hydrated. Otherwise, you can face uh, loss of stamina as well as loss of strength due to dehydration.
How often do you drink water?
Oh, I know I have just mentioned that I we should take 6 liters a day, but it does not even happen in my case. I can hardly take 2 to 3 liters in summers, and I think in winters I don't even take a sip of water until my mom's called me for do that.
Do you drink bottled water or water from the machines?
Well, it varies. Whenever I am at home, I prefer to take water straight out from the machine, purify machine. Whereas whenever I am out of my home, I prefer to carry a bottle along with me. And when that bottle get finished, I don't refill that water from the taps because I think that can cause disease, and therefore I buy a new bottle from nearby shops.
Great. What type of water do you drink?
Well, I don't think water have varieties, but if I would have to mention here, I like to drink water at room temperature because I am very sensitive to cold water. I just start sneezing when I take water straight out from the freezer.
Okay. Few questions will be based on science. Do you like science?
No, I am not a particular fan of science, but I have to read it as a major subject because it was mandatory subject in my academics. Although I never liked science, but still I used to be my science teacher's favorite student.
When did you start learning about science?
Well, I started learning about science in my elementary school as a subject of EVS, but majorly I start reading science in my sixth standard, where I have three subjects: biology, chemistry, and physics.
Which science subject is interesting to you?
Well, I think physics is interesting to me because it has some basics of mathematics, and I am very fond of mathematics. That's why.
Do you like science fiction movies?
No, not at all. I don't like science fiction movies because I think they just spread disinformation and conspiracy to nurture our interest in those movies to maximize their own profits.
Okay, good. Few questions will be based on sky. Do you like to see the sky?
Yes, I adore seeing at sky. I find it very pleasant. I especially see sky at the night.
How about stars?
I am very fond of stars. They seem very, I think they seem very, like, they make me feel satisfied because whenever I lay down on my terrace, I keep my eye on those stars and I think I will twinkle like them one day.
What is a good place to see the stars?
Nowadays, we all are aware that light pollution is increasing in cities, so I will prefer to see stars in the countryside area because there you can see the blanket of stars.
Okay. Where had you read about stars?
I had read about many celestial bodies in the science, and stars were also a part of that celestial bodies. So I think that was the first time I read about the stars.
Do you want to live on other planets?
No, I don't think so because I think there is a lot of risk that is involved in living to other planets because we are not successful to that extent that we will manage a ambience like Earth on that planet.
Okay, great. This is end of the part one. Now I'm going to ask a cue card. This is your cue card, and Navnoor, you will have to speak at least for 2 minutes, and I'm giving time 1 minute to prepare. If you want to make notes, you can use these paper and pencil. Okay, Navnoor, you may start speaking.
Well, according to my measurement, a home is not only a basic necessity but also a place that holds a lot of sentiments. However, everyone's frame of reference varies for a perfect home. If I personally talk about my preference, then I will definitely go for a royal mansion that used to be in 80s or 90s. I have got its demonstration through books as well as in movies. I have been very fond of vintage homes since my childhood, but the home where I am presently living, it was built when I was an infant, so it is not according to my taste. Therefore, I want to construct a new home. If I talk about the structure of my new home, then it will be a massive two-story home because I have a tight-knit family and I want a spacious building where we all can stay together. Along with this, the material will be used for making that home will be stone because I think the homes in the past were well fortified than in the present.
Mm-hmm.
If I talk about the amenities that will be available in my home, the very first amenity will be the home theater because I am a cineastic person and I want a big screen at my home to enjoy a movie. Along with this, I will prefer a swimming pool too because I am very conscious about my health nowadays and I am taking swimming as my leisure time activity. And
Mm-hmm.
above all, I will prefer a park in my home too because my mother and father both are working and they take their morning and evening tea together. So I want a park with a small cottage where they both can enjoy their morning and evening tea together. And the main thing I want in my home will be a garden where I can grow some vegetables and fruits because nowadays everything is contaminated with pesticides,
Mm-hmm.
insecticides. Therefore, I will grow those vegetables and fruits at my home to save my family from the fertilizers that are using in those crops. And along with this, I the home will be the surrounding of home will be well fortified because I want that whenever anyone will come at my home, they will adore my home very much. And
Okay, Namnu, thank you so much. Thank you. This is the end of the cue card. And now I'm going to ask some follow-up questions which will be based on your cue card. Do most Indian people live in an apartment or a house?
well, in India, it varies. If you are living in a metropolitan city, people prefer to live in an apartment because there is lack of accommodating facilities. But if you are living in small cities, people prefer to own their self big homes.
What are the most common architectural styles in Indian cities?
Well, India is a diverse area, and in this nation, several kind of architecture designs are constructed. But the thing what I have observed mostly, the main thing in cities there is flats as well as apartments, and some people prefer mansions.
Okay, so why these are common? Why flats and apartments, mansions are common?
Because I have already mentioned there is a lackage of accommodating facilities. There is not enough land, and we all know that lands are fixed and people are variable. They change year by year. Therefore, we we need some flats that can be built in a small area.
Mhm. What is the difference between living in the countryside and living in the city?
Well, if you are living in a city, there are a lot kind of pollution, such as water pollution, air pollution, owing to the development happening in those areas. But if you are living in the countryside area, you can enjoy the scenery view because there is fresh air in the countryside areas. Along with this, in the villages, you can enjoy the farms too.
Would you live in a foreign country in the future?
Yes, absolutely. I am planning to continue my studies in the foreign because I think the standard of living is there well developed than my country.
Why you think so?
Because I have read a lot of magazines and I have found that the morality rate is quite lower than the India there. And along with this, we observe people who are living there, and some of my relatives are also living there, and they tell me the things that are developed there in those years.
Mhm. What's the difference between a house and an apartment?
Well, houses mostly have stories, but apartments do not have stories. They are constructed on a small land, and along with this, apartments share their they share their parking areas and courtyards, whereas home are, I can say, independent.
Okay. Thank you so much, Noor. Thanks a lot. Okay, this is end of the test. Hello everyone. So this is time to give the feedback for Navnoor speaking. I'm really satisfied with her speaking as there is a key criteria for IELTS speaking assessment: fluency and coherence, lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy, and last one is the pronunciation. So if I talk about fluency and coherence, that Navnoor managed very well about that part in part 1, part 2 and part 3. So fluency and coherence wise she was excellent. In lexical resource she was super excellent as she used variety of words like vintage, infant, massive and tied knit, along with she used connector also, well fortified, amenities, celesti person, contaminated, and lots of other words she used over here. So if I say about the lexical resource or the word part, that she had a great word part, and because of this that she could score more. In the grammatical range and accuracy, she had done some rare grammatical errors, but she can improve after a lot of practice, and pronunciation wise she was good. The one mistake she had done over an entire speaking, that while speaking to the examiner she was saying that as you know, as you are living in that, you are living in that city. So she was just calling examiner, just she was giving example general, but as you know and you are living in this, you are doing this. So this is quite wrong. If you are sitting in front of examiner, then you just can say general things like people doing this, according to me people are doing this, some people do this, some individuals do this, but you cannot say that you know that or as you are living in this. So this is quite wrong. So she had done this error. So if you guys are doing the same mistake, avoid this, and otherwise in every criteria, in every key criteria assessment, I would give 7 for fluency and coherence, 7 for lexical resource, 7 for grammatical range and accuracy, and 7 for pronunciation. So overall I'm giving 7 band to her. Thank you so much. Hope this will be helpful.